Hey guys, welcome to today's episode of To Disagree. So, in light of
COVID-19.
the coronavirus, the thing that is making everything shut down worldwide, we're going to talk about that today.
I know it's a little off the cuff, but
Yeah,
this is going to be a To Agree episode.
Yeah, this is a very off the cuff episode for us. Yeah, I haven't done a whole hell of a, well, I know what's going on based on news and media to a certain degree.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of everywhere. You have to be living under a rock not to know what COVID-19 is. And if you're going to your grocery store and wondering why they're always out of toilet paper, that's why.
Yeah, you really have to be kind of stupid to not know what coronavirus is yet. So I think in light of what's going on, this is definitely a To Agree episode because I have a lot of thoughts surrounding COVID-19 and the hysteria and pandemonium involved in it. And I think so does Christian.
Absolutely.
And for some reason, our ideas kind of align with this one.
Yeah, well, it's like it's not as bad as it seems. Like, I'm currently looking at Statistics Canada and like the numbers the government's released. I mean, yesterday there were 34 cases and today there's 74 cases.
Yeah.
But that still isn't an alarming jump. Yeah,
it's definitely, you have to err on the side of caution right now in regards to a lot of things. And I do, to a certain degree, think that like you should be doing your best to kind of self-isolate right now. As much as I hate that personally, because I am a very active person, I love being like out and about. And yesterday I was cooped up in my apartment all day and I wanted to kind of, shoot myself a bit. But at the end of the day, like it is kind of recommended to self-isolate. And it's not so much like if it was just me having to deal with me, I wouldn't really care. But I think the one reason that I am like practicing self-isolating and just being a little bit more aware of that is because we work for a very small company and a lot of larger companies are shutting down. They're closing their doors. They're saying, hey, work from home. When you work for a small company, you don't always have that luxury. And as a company, we're trying to do our best to stay open right now. Fortunately, none of us have really come into contact with anybody who's been tested positive for COVID-19. So why wouldn't we try to stay open?
And I mean, it's one of the best parts about being stoners too.
Yeah.
The self-isolation for us is just kind of easier than
it's
most
hard for
people.
me. It's
like,
hard for
I get
me.
that it's hard for you.
Yeah.
But for like everybody else at the company, besides I guess like would be the only other person that I could see super bummed about not being able to leave her house.
Yes and no. Likes to have like her own time.
No, but I think it's like not being allowed to leave your house as compared to actively choosing.
It's kind of funny too because it's like, there are so many people would love nothing more than to like stay home, but when you're like forced to, it kind of sucks.
Well, and like the thing for me is like I always have like a super rebellious side about everything. But for me, like if somebody tells me to stay home, I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I will.
If somebody tells me to stay home, that's when I'm like, no, I want to go out. Like I'm definitely like, you want what you can't have kind of thing. But it's not even that. It's just like, trust me, I love staying at home sometimes. I think like yesterday was just a little bit more difficult for me because typically on my days off, like I want to go to the gym. I want to go do yoga. Like I live like a fairly active lifestyle. And I don't know about you guys, but from what I heard, Good Life shut their doors to public.
Gym Movement's still open.
I don't know what
that's
gym
the
that
women's
is.
gym.
Yeah, see, like, and that, I mean, I go to Good Life. So they're closed. So, like, I can't go to the gym on my day off, which, like, I like to do. And then like my yoga class today was like canceled, and I was like, I'm going to lose my mind, because I just like, again, when you live like an active lifestyle, it's hard to like not like, it's hard to not be able to do what you're used to doing.
But yoga's like one of the few things that you can just easily do alone.
Yoga I'm doing at home tonight. I think I just like really enjoyed the class setting of it. And same with the gym. Like I can work out at home. I have worked out at home. I just enjoy like this setting of being at the gym. Like the mindset is a little bit different. I find that like when you're at home, you get distracted more easily. But when I'm at the gym or when I'm actually in a yoga class, like my focus is 100% there.
Yeah, because in your house you have like everything you can do.
Yeah, like exactly. So it's a little bit distracting at times. I just like being able to like have my focus completely on, you know, working out when I'm at the gym, which is nice. So yeah, it's kind of hard being forced to stay home when I'm used to living an active lifestyle, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've been just, like, a nerd weeb all my life.
Yeah.
So practicing self-isolation's super easy.
Yeah.
It's like, even if I had to, like, stay literally in my room, I wouldn't care.
Yeah, that's, like, hard for me. I think also another thing that, like, kind of shot myself in the foot a little bit was I accidentally left my laptop at work. So, yeah. So, like, yesterday I was like, okay, I can't go to the gym, but like I can work on my blog, or like I was like even considering like figuring out doing taxes on my own, because like why not? I have to stay home. And then I realized my laptop was at work, and I was like, cool, like I can't do anything. So literally it was like I just had like zero productivity yesterday, and it like I can't handle that sometimes. It stresses me out.
Yeah, and then there's like people like me. I've got like the home computer, the laptop, the Xbox if I'm feeling desperate for something to do. And then I have like all of my cats, which can't catch COVID-19.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
I was actually one of the main things I was scared of when this whole thing was like coming out was that my animals would be
susceptible. Yeah.
Susceptible. And then to find out they weren't was awesome.
Yeah.
But it's horrible because koalas apparently and snakes carry COVID-19.
That's bizarre.
I know, but like koalas can also get chlamydia.
I know.
Which is also super fucked.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
So how do these diseases jump? Like, is everyone just eating and fucking koalas?
I don't think that's the case.
I mean, that's how apparently COVID could have started.
Really?
Yeah, they've tracked it to a urban meat black market.
Ooh.
And it was between snake and koala.
That's kind of gross.
That like a person ate, and it was just bad meat, and COVID
occurred. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess this is maybe like the one time vegans win.
I'm going to say no. This is the one time that, vegans can stand a little taller.
Yeah.
But it's also that most carnivores don't eat fucking koalas.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever eaten snake or koala. So.
And as like a predatory animal on this side of the world, we still get all the good shit.
Yeah. Anyways, but I think the one thing that we both agree on so far is like err on the side of caution right now.
Oh, 100%. But you don't need toilet paper.
Yeah. Okay. So that brings us to our next point that we heavily agree on is for all you crazy people, and I'm calling you crazy because you're being crazy. Stocking up on mass amounts of items, including toilet paper.
Some people are even like amassing milk.
Chicken, apparently.
Oh, chicken like crazy. And the whole thing is you're not going to chicken soup, your way out of it.
Yeah.
That's not how it works. COVID-19 will attack your immune system.
Yeah.
Because it's a virus.
Yeah.
The best thing you can do is live your life normally take
Yeah.
precautions like, washing your hands after every interaction, constantly wiping down doors in your workspace, especially when you're letting, strangers, people that you're not 100% comfortable with their hygiene in, which is really should be everyone.
Right now,
Like, you could know, like, even a significant other, like, get them to wash their hands more if you don't believe they're washing their hands enough. Because in that case, it's not only them showing respect for you, but themselves.
Yep.
And, not spreading it to you is great. And also, I'm saying if you don't have, like, an autoimmune problem or anything wrong with your immune system, or you're not elderly, leave those supplies at the store.
Exactly.
So they can pick them up.
And that's the thing is, like, I know when all this panic started, first of all, the people who were buying out like toilet paper and buying out like all these supplies, first of all, you have the luxury to do so. That means that you're making a fairly steady income. You 9 times out of 10 don't have to worry about like living paycheck to paycheck, so to speak. And you're probably living quite comfortably. Those are the people who are like stocking up unnecessarily, is all the people that are living quite comfortably and like have the means to be able to stock up. But then think of it this way. You guys are actually taking away from the people who actually need those supplies. So people with compromised immune systems, elderly people, and 9 times out of 10, when you have an elderly person or somebody who has a compromised immune system, and I'm not saying this is like across the board, but if somebody has a compromised immune system, sometimes they're suffering from disabilities. Like if you're paraplegic, you have a compromised immune system, and you're probably you probably suffer from disabilities, and you're probably living on a disability income. So think about that for a minute. When you think about like people who actually have compromised immune systems and elderly people, how much money do you think they're making? Do you think that they have the luxury to be able to buy out a month's worth of supplies? No. They don't. But those are actually the people who fucking need it the most, So like all these crazy people that are buying months worth of supplies, which like also you don't need. It's 2 weeks, bro. Like calm down.
With COVID-19, none of the symptoms are diarrhea.
Yeah. That's
So
another thing. Like they're not
all
like
stupid.
you're literally like buying something that like you don't need mass amounts of. Like I know that Health Canada and just like the government and media in general has recommended if you can stock up enough for 2 weeks. 2 weeks is fine. If everybody was just stocking up enough for 2 weeks, like we wouldn't have all this hysteria right now. It's the fact that people are buying out like month to 2 to 3 months worth of supplies. Like that's not okay.
And the problem is what they're going for too. Like they're buying chicken and milk.
Which is gross, but like...
No, it just fucking boggles me, because there was like that meme I showed you yesterday.
Yeah.
With like the chick with a cart full of
like
milk.
what are you going to do with all that milk? It's going to go bad before you even have the chance to drink it.
At max, you have a month.
Yeah, like it's going to go bad. Like, and that's what boggles my mind is like these people are buying like mass amounts of stuff, and like half of that stuff may go bad. I mean, you can freeze some of it, but like milk, like no, that shit's gonna go bad.
Yeah, like even if you freeze milk, that just immediately separates all the
Not only that, but I think like and again, I don't have a compromised immune system, so I'm not being crazy. I haven't stocked up crazy on anything right now. But one thing that also like drives me nuts is I haven't personally stocked up on a bunch of supplies. I was pretty lucky in the sense that like I went grocery shopping right before all this hysteria hit. So I haven't like I live by myself, by the way. So I only have to worry about me when it comes to toilet paper.
And Thompson.
Yeah. My cat, whatever.
Yes, boy.
but it's not like he utilizes toilet paper
all the time.
But so I only have me to worry about. So living as a single person and like only having to worry about myself is pretty great, because I know that like that package of toilet paper that I bought is probably going to last me for at least a month anyways, thankfully. However, for normal groceries, like I'm sitting here like I bought a normal amount of groceries to get me through like a week and a half to 2 weeks approximately. And I'm like sitting here at my house right now wondering like when I run out of those groceries, which will be probably by the end of this week, am I going to have the ability to go grocery shopping? Because is everything going to be sold out at that point? Like, and that's what stresses me out.
I mean, you probably will be able to like...
it'll be very picked over though.
Oh, 100%. You're going to get the dregs.
Yeah.
But as we've learned, do you like tofu?
Yes and no.
Well, as we learned,
soy is not good for you.
Anything vegan
yeah
doesn't sell.
Yeah, I mean,
so
like and like worst case, I do actually like tofu, but having too much soy is like bad for anybody, to be
I
frank.
don't believe in soy beverage or any of that bullshit.
Yeah, it messes with your hormones, man.
The only thing I do care about though is soy sauce.
Oof, I love soy sauce too.
Only for sashimi.
Yeah. Soy in small doses are fine, but you shouldn't be eating it like every day.
Oh, 100%.
But if like worst case scenario, if I went to the grocery store and there was only tofu, yeah, I'd buy it. But I think it really sucks for me because like I'm a single person, and I mean, I don't have the luxury of being able to afford buying myself like a month to 2 months worth of supplies. Like that's insane. But at the end of the day too, I live in an apartment. I have a apartment-sized fridge. So like I can only fill it so much, meaning like I can't stock up insanely on anything. Like
you cans.
Yeah, but at the same time, like who wants canned food all the time, you know? Like
when there
that
is
kind of
no
sucks.
other option.
What I mean, if that's the case, but I'm like, that's what shouldn't happen in this. Like that shouldn't be occurring right now. People are going through so much hysteria and like panic, and they're ruining it for like the people who actually need it, and then the people who don't have the luxury of like, yeah, like I'm sorry, I can't stock up that much because I have an apartment size fridge and freezer. Like, where am I gonna put this shit?
Like I get that and I agree.
Yeah.
And I don't want to like perpetuate more fear.
Yeah.
But Canada's done something unprecedented, and we haven't done it in like the past 15 years, which is close our borders.
Yeah.
Like, and the only people that have an exception are the Americans, and that makes sense because our commerce and trade is also...
Yeah.
We're pretty much the same goddamn country, except half of us are nice.
Half of us are nice. It's great.
It's the Americans. I'm just joking. It's the Canadians. But the Americans are good people, too.
Some of them. Minus Trump.
They make great deals.
No, I love Americans. I have a lot of American family members, but...
I've got a lot of American friends. So.
Trump, maybe I wouldn't say is a good American.
I wouldn't say he's a friend.
Yeah, he's not my friend.
I'd say he's a good acquaintance, and he makes good deals. But...
Right.
Yeah, the problem is like a whole bunch of even like our customers have come in, or the people, our clients, have come in, and they've just been like shooting the shit with me, and they're like, yeah, I did a whole bunch of ordering from like a nearby warehouse that was just full of Chinese goods because they had a certain type of Chinese good that they were using that they were worried wouldn't keep coming in recent months. And with us closing our borders, it's not very long before trade routes close. Yeah. If this continues down the path it's going down. Yeah. Because back during like the Spanish flu days, everything shut down. like the entire world, and that was before they, you could coordinate to the level that we do, like before phone lines were like, everywhere.
Yeah.
But everybody knew, and everybody shut down. And we're not seeing the numbers of Spanish flu, and like the numbers that are even on like the website in Canada is there's 342 confirmed cases across Canada.
Yeah.
And 74 of those, yes, are in Alberta. But that's also 342 out of millions.
Yeah, like I feel like the pandemonium and the hysteria is like, it's almost too much in my opinion. Like I know that, in certain countries like Italy, for example, I know it's been really bad there.
Yeah, they're arresting people that are confirmed cases that just go out
in public,
which makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's like a bad virus, but at the same time, like when we were dealing with, what was the one that we were dealing with before?
H1N1?
Yeah, I think so. That was like worse.
Yeah, bird flu
cases
was way worse
wise than what we're going through now, and I think it's like.
I mean, swine flu before that was worse too, but we didn't hear as much about it. Like,
I think the media has like jumped on this in a very intense way right now, and I think part of that is Trump has been tweeting like a crazy person, and the way that he's been handling it hasn't been appropriate. Like if you look back at how Obama was talking about, what was going on with H1N1 or the swine, whichever one, like there were more confirmed cases, but he was like not adding panic or hysteria. And I think because Trump is an idiot and...
Well, he's an idiot in power, and that's the problem, because nobody would have freaked out.
Yeah, he's the one who's been adding panic and hysteria to this whole thing, which is like, we have less cases of coronavirus across the board than like we've had in H1N1, whatever. So there's that, and I think like because one person tweets about it, Well,
you give somebody like that, a microphone, a place to stand, and the minute he's literally the leader of the free world.
Exactly. So like, when he talks about it, then everybody kind of jumps on that platform.
Every country in the world, too.
Yeah.
Like America, and this is something people will debate me endlessly on.
Yeah.
But America leads functionality of the world, basically. Whatever America does, everybody else facilitates.
I don't necessarily think that, but culture. I do think that they're a country that people look at, like regardless, like, oh, this is happening in America. Like, it's something that like people will always take note of.
Well, and course. I mean, any country that wants power looks at America. Because, they're the first ones to roll out the nukes. They almost single-handedly, and I never give anyone this much credit, stopped a world war.
Yeah.
But it was also like everybody else fought through that, but they had a nuke. You're not going to keep fighting a war. You're just going to get bombed out of existence. And still to this day, everybody looks to what they do, especially in like tragedy situations.
Yeah.
Like, and they have the most public tragedies, like the Challenger explosion, the Twin Towers.
Yeah, like that stuff like that happens all over the world every day.
But
when it happens to America,
yeah,
it's in the news.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
It's everywhere. Yeah,
and it's again like America's a kid with a foghorn.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going around being like, "This is a horrifying thing." And you should all be scared. And I mean, Italy, their numbers are
brutal. Yeah.
And surprising and shocking. But again, it's not as bad as Spanish flu. And most of those numbers of infected would have already been dead.
Yeah. I think the hard part that's like, especially in Italy right now, like, and this is a very real thing. There is not enough healthcare members or equipment to save everyone right now. Like, there are people dying in Italy, like, kind of unnecessarily, but it's definitely on the basis of, like, there's not enough healthcare workers to take care of sick people right now there, and there's not enough equipment. Like, the system is essentially overwhelmed in Italy. So that's really sad, and people are unnecessarily dying. Whether or not that's going to happen in Canada, I mean, the sheer size of our difference in countries, you know?
Well, see, we already have a problem. Like, even before the virus, beds were already full at hospitals.
Yeah.
And this is putting significant amount of strain on our healthcare system.
Yeah, it definitely is.
We have built up a ridiculous amount of healthcare professionals.
Yeah.
Especially since there was a huge job craze that still hasn't stopped because they keep building more hospitals. So there is hundreds of thousands of nurses out there that aren't working.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they entered the whole scene, and at that point, that it wasn't a need for nurses anymore after the whole job craze hit. And then now there is a need for all type of healthcare professionals.
Yeah.
So, you know, industries like that are going to definitely benefit from this. But the best thing about, like, healthcare being an arm of the government in our case and not being privatized is that they can wield it a lot better as, like, you know, a weapon to fight against, you know, infection. And I already have seen, like, just some of the stuff that they suggest is, you know, one, it's super common sense stuff, but it's like,
very common sense.
Since it's coming from the government, people are so willing to believe it.
Yeah.
Like, sure, there is, like, some of the people that are like, oh, yeah, our government's you know, piece of shit. And then, like, they've tested 10,524 people in Alberta, and we have only found 74 cases.
Yeah, like, it's not actually that severe, but I do think, like, again, err on the side of caution, but don't be that person to add to, like, the hysteria. And, like, that's not going to end well for you, first of all, because if you're doing that, you're also unnecessarily stressing yourself out. And I don't know about you, but facts, stress lowers your immune system.
Absolutely. And this is, like, something I want to say, like, people with a voice.
Yeah.
Like, if you're on a platform like ours or YouTube or Instagram, your main job, and I truly believe this, should be to put people at ease.
Yeah, don't add to the hysteria, because it's only gonna, like, I know it's funny to joke about from time to time. Like, don't get me wrong, some of those Corona memes
like the
are hilarious.
Corona challenge, that's hilarious.
No, see, and that to
those
me
are
is
terrible.
Like, that's
I agree.
Bad. Don't do that.
That is absolutely terrible.
Don't be that
but that's
person.
Like Darwin in live action.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, like, if you're doing that, you're more likely to get sick. Like, if you lick a bunch of door handles.
I watched somebody lick a toilet bowl this morning.
That's disgusting.
And I was like, and it was a plain toilet bowl too.
That's horrible.
I'm like, okay, it's funny when the people have already wiped all the shit that they're licking down, and they're just doing it as, like, a
joke.
A yuck joke video.
But even then, like, it's not actually that funny. Like, don't add
I mean, if you're licking a doorknob in your fucking house.
Even then, though,
it's only you touching it, and you've, like, wiped it down with Lysol. I would never.
Yeah, but, like, on what basis? Like, okay, first of all,
because you want to join in on the toxic memes that are already
clearly,
out there.
But, like, in what situation? To me, it's just, like, A, common sense, and B, you're just being freaking stupid at that rate. Because, like, do you lick a doorknob on a regular basis? No. Maybe don't do it now. Maybe. I'm just gonna throw that one out there. Like, why are you acting in an inappropriate manner to add to the level of hysteria? Like, you're just, if you are that person, you are dumb. And, like, please stop listening.
Getting to, like, that point, it's like, if you do have a voice, just please tell people to calm down.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the influencers are the problem.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I think we discussed this earlier too, and I know that Tom Hanks and his wife were tested positive for COVID-19.
And I know this part we disagreed
on, yeah. The one thing that happened was Tom Hanks like released a statement saying like, look, we were tested positive. We're staying home. Stay safe, everyone. La da 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 da. I don't think that's wrong to do.
I think he did it the right way.
Yes.
With the wrong result.
Yeah, I think I do understand where you're coming from, Christian, because like anytime a celebrity hops on board to something like this, it does add somewhat to the hysteria. However, I do also think it's appropriate how he said it. Like, he didn't add to the hype of it. He was like, base facts, like, we're sick, we're taking some time away. And like, the reason why I respect what he did was because he, like, at the end of the day, they're not dying. It's just a really shitty fucking cold. Like, they're gonna be sick for a couple weeks and it's gonna suck and they're gonna stay home, but like, they're gonna be fine, because at the end of the day, like, unless you have a compromised immune system, COVID-19 isn't gonna harm you that much. Like, it's gonna feel like a really shitty freaking cold flu.
No, and I 100% understand where you're coming from, which is why where I'm coming from is so upsetting to me. Like, I don't like that this is my thought, but if this is my thought, it's somebody else's thought. It's like, now that I know, like, this is just like my analytical side coming in. It's like, now that I know that he's sick and I know how people think, they're going to be like, well, if Tom Hanks can get it, anyone can get it. And
I mean, that is very true. If Tom Hanks can get it, anybody can.
True, like, but how I would have done it as Tom Hanks is, who the fuck needs to know? Like, you're an actor, I get it. You're working on a project, I get it. Oh no, your project is delayed by a year. Mm-hmm. I mean, most people probably didn't even know what fucking movie he was working on.
Yeah.
Or any of that shit. So making it public, in my personal opinion, was one, not necessary, and two, unknowingly on all sides damaging.
Yeah, however, at the end of the day, like, he's a public figure, first of all.
But before this coronavirus thing, I wasn't personally going like, wonder what Tom Hanks is doing right
No,
now.
I know, but he, at the end of the day, he is still a public figure. So, like, if he has to cancel projects, he still has to tell those people why they're canceled.
Yeah, but I just like tell the studio themselves. Those are the people that you're currently accountable to.
But at the same time, like, do you know how much gossiping and drama happens in like that universe? Like, it would get around that it would get around that he has COVID-19. Like, somebody would say something to somebody and like the knowledge would be out there that he was tested positive for COVID-19. That information would get around regardless. So at the end of the day, I think as a public figure, you're always going to have to make a statement, even if you don't want to. I know it sounds stupid, but like, you'll have to make that statement eventually. Him doing it in the first place takes away the hysteria that adds from other people. It's like the telephone game, you know, like when some person says something to the next and then it just gets like progressively crazier and crazier. With him releasing a public statement and being like, this is the base, like, we are sick, we're taking some time. He took all of that hysteria essentially away by releasing that public statement and making it very calm and collected.
Well, like, no, I get that. I 100% do get that. It's just...
It's annoying that has to be a thing, but I think as a public figure, people are going to know eventually.
He's just one of, like, any actor or musician that's famous they're probably at this point the worst people to get it.
Yeah.
Because regardless of intent, it'd be taken wrong.
Yeah, but it would be taken wrong either way. I do feel like it was necessary that he had to release a statement, though, because there would have been more hysteria surrounding it had it been coming from like the gossip mill, where it's like it ends up being in People magazine and it's like, ooh, Tom Hanks and his wife are dying from COVID-19. They're dead. Like,
but
it would
it's
get
already
that.
In the Times with that pretty much exact tagline. Like, it doesn't matter where it came from.
Yeah, but with him, he's taking away the power of adding that hysteria. With him doing that public statement, it takes away from like people chiming in on their own, you know?
I mean, I guess all I can hope is that he survives and is like...
He'll be fine!
I know, but I just want him to make another statement, come out and be like, it was no big deal.
Yeah, like, it was fine, we were sick, like, it sucked for a couple weeks, like, we're fine.
Yeah, like, that's the only way that I could, like, see it from what happened, and it was in no way his fault. Like,
no,
that would be the only way that I could see it being completely redeemed. And I know it doesn't seem like it needs redeeming, and I don't feel like I'm personally, in a position to hold anybody.
Yeah.
To like a point where it's like, you fucking better, tell people it's not a big deal. But honestly, if he comes out after it and just says it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. And I think a lot of people would feel very relieved. And also, like, the hysteria and the fear.
But at the end of the
lessen.
day, yes, like that would be cool or whatever if he did. But at the same time, like, just know for yourself that, like, again, unless you have a compromised immune system, unless you suffer from asthma, which that is very serious because there's, like, symptoms of pneumonia with COVID-19, you will be fine. Like, if you have asthma or have a compromised immune system, you especially should, like, try to do your best with self-distancing and doing what you can to stay at home right now. But if you are, like, just a normal, healthy human being and you catch COVID-19, you're gonna be fine. It's gonna be a shitty flu, and it's gonna suck for you for a couple weeks, but you're not gonna have any issues. So, like, I think at the end of the day, everybody just needs to, like, calm down and realize, like, yes, this is something serious. I'm not going to take away from that. This is a very serious issue that's currently happening right now and that we're dealing with. But again, at the end of the day, like, we're going to recover. You're going to be fine.
And, with all the information that we're currently gathering, scientists have released that 80% of the world's population will be almost completely unaffected by this. So it's like 80%.
That's a lot.
That's way over half. That's,
yeah.
It's more than, 3/4 of the world's population.
Yeah, like, that number is a pretty comfortable number.
And I do hate to say it, but, first world nations, especially most of you listening will be from first world nations. We are probably the best prepared to handle this.
Yeah.
Like, our governments have gone through worse. Plans have been put in place. They've been replanned. Our, health ministries, government health departments, if it's a first world nation, they're thinking about something to help.
Yeah, and I think another thought with this too, like, we are a first world nation. We have that, what's the word I'm looking for?
Centralized healthcare.
No, I mean, we're lucky, essentially.
Oh, we are lucky.
Very, very lucky. Like, do not take that for granted in any way, shape, or form. But with us being lucky enough to live in the society that we do, stop acting like we live in a third world country. Stop it. Like, I had somebody who was talking to me about, like, one of my friends, and he was just like, he's not originally from Canada. And he's like, people in Canada are literally, like, having the thoughts of, like, what it is like to live in a third world country right now. Like people are at that level of hysteria and pandemonium here, and it's like, we aren't a third world country. We're fine, like, we're gonna be okay. So stop acting like we don't live in a first world country. Like, we're gonna be okay. We are lucky enough to be here, and, like, thank whatever you want to thank every day for that,
Well, and, like, the thing is, here in Canada, we have some of, like, the world's best physicians.
Yeah.
And we have, in my personal opinion, some of, like, the best trained healthcare professionals. And, if it's going to come from anywhere, like a cure, it's going to be from a first world nation. and most first world nations are in talks with each other. Mm-hmm. So if a cure is found, it'll be passed out to everyone. And when I say if, I mean when.
Yeah.
When a cure is found, because it always is found, and then we'll be vaccinated against it. Vaccinate your fucking kids. Because if they don't already have a battery of vaccinations, they're already susceptible. That's all I'm going to say. People, just take care of yourselves and be kind to each other, and just don't purchase all the toilet paper. Other people need it. My house is getting pretty dry.
Yeah.
I mean, I have 2 rolls of paper towel upstairs, and I might have to do this the Cuban way.
Yeah.
Which, as much as I love Cuba, Viva de Cuba, I don't want to do that again. I mean, I'm not from there, but I lived there for 2 months. Great place. Terrible toilets.
Not only that, but it's just like, yeah, take care of yourselves, but like, just at the end of the day, know that this is gonna pass and we're all gonna be fine. And stop adding to the hysteria. And also, like, side note, the fact that, I don't know if you've heard about this, but grocery stores are like now limiting how much people can buy of one thing. Like, it's gotten to that point of bad. So the fact that like grocery stores are like, no, we're limiting how much we're selling, like, that's, people have been overreacting about this for a while, because like, if grocery stores are having to put that into place, like, that just goes to show like how crazy people have been.
Well, manufacturers of toilet paper have even come out and said, we don't know how to handle this much demand.
Yeah.
Like, what we were doing, just the normal shipments, was already hard enough.
Yeah, to like add more to that, like, it's at the point where, you know, people are like, oh, I'll trade you this for a roll of toilet paper. Like, I was literally joking around the other day with like somebody on that. Like, I think he was like, oh, I'll give you a bottle of wine for some toilet paper. And I was like, dude, if it's getting to that level, like, what? Like, that's like stressful. That's not okay.
100% is.
Oh, and also don't be that douchebag that tries to profit off of this. Don't be that guy.
What do you mean, that couple from Toronto? That's
that are trying to sell rolls of toilet paper for like way more money, and
you
like,
mean they successfully sell toilet paper for way more money?
Yeah, but also like, don't be
that
like
asshole.
You should not be profiting from
other people's despair and discomfort.
Yeah, that is not okay. And if you are doing that, you are the scum of society, first of all. And like, please go jump off a bridge. Maybe. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. But
we've said a lot of very inflammatory things, but I just want to say this today for our fans, is this is our way of venting.
Yeah.
And in no way is indicative of how most of the time we would feel.
Yes.
But, you know, we're just very, 1, pissed off, 2, tired.
Yeah, very tired.
3, just, I know it's annoyed is the same as pissed off, but I just think I'm super annoyed.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
you can feel like, yeah. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a very empathetic person. So like, I can feel when there's like mass hysteria going on around me, and I've definitely been like on edge
which
for
makes
days.
Me on edge.
Yeah.
Because I work with her.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been a little on edge, you guys. So if y'all could just stop being crazy and buying toilet paper in mass quantities and being crazy.
Be great.
That would be soup's great for us.
Yeah. Because if she can calm down, I can calm down. It'd be a good day.
Yeah. Be great.
So I would like to thank you guys for tuning in. And there's going to be a Weed Wednesday podcast that we're going to put out there.
Stay tuned.
Just so y'all can see what it's going to be like. I will tell you right now, I was too high in it to be able to record it properly. So it's on a mono track, and it kind of sounds like we're trapped in a microwave.
I mean, that's kind of how you feel when you're high anyways. So
that's so true.
Just get high with us when you listen to that episode.
Just
It'll be great. It'll be great for all of us.
We'll do it real good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time. See you lovelies later, and remember to follow us on our Instagram, YouTube,
Twitter.
I don't
Just
think we have
look
a
up To
Facebook.
Disagree at To Disagree on all platforms and
Yeah.
find us and
We'll be
follow
there.
us and subscribe.
Yeah, we love you guys, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.